Good morning, everybody. It's Focus Friday and it's the 26th of February. Now, you're probably wondering what focus means today in today's live video. Well, it's still a continuation of looking after yourself, taking care of yourself. And I'm ready to start my celebrations. I want you still to focus on you today. Excuse me. But for me, I'm starting today and extending my celebrations over the weekend into next week even, perhaps, as it's my birthday on Sunday. And of course, in our family, we definitely celebrate more than a day. It seems to last for sometimes days, sometimes weeks. So before you focus on yourself, I want you to think, of course, of others, of how others see you. Now, do they see you as always composed and it looks like you've got everything together, you've got it all together, and you know, you look confident, everything about you just seems to be so, but actually on the inside, you're this kind of frightened little rabbit, perhaps, and so you're putting that face on the outside, which maybe all have to do, but what you're sometimes doing is you're feeling that way inside, that you're a wee bit, you're not as confident, you're perhaps a bit, you're worried about what others think, and actually even comparing yourself to others, and you're working hard not to let anybody down. Perhaps people around you have had more of a head start. You think they're doing better, they're getting on better in their career and in life, and I want you to remember this phrase: comparing yourself to others is taking the joy away from your life. Comparison is the thief of joy. So just remember that. Comparing yourself to others is taking joy away from your own life. So I want you to ask yourself this and then write down your answers. Maybe listen to the video afterwards and then write down your answers in your journal or your diary. And I hope you now have a journal or diary. And I've got to thank everybody who's bought my Changing Seasons of Life book and using it as their creative journal. What do you think? What do you want to focus on? So you use your journal to write down what is it that would bring you joy and fun to take care of yourself. And then, of course, look back again on this video and start looking at maybe what you've written. That's why it's good to have a journal or a diary. You can actually look back and think, oh, is that what I was going to do? Is that, have I done it yet? When you're doing this, when you're doing something to take care of yourself, it energizes you and it re-energizes you. So I repeat the message from this week's videos. I think I've talked about this often, not just frontline workers, but everyone, not just the nurses and the doctors, but everybody who's been taking care of everyone else over the last months, many months, and we're nearly into, I think now, a whole year of this. They will need support. When we're out of these challenging times, they will need support. And some of the support, of course, that will come from others, but we all need to be doing something ourselves to take care of ourselves. What holds people back from doing this? Well, again, and it's a sort of repetition here, and I've done a live video on it before, but it's past conditioning and the labels you've been given. Think back to, even listen back to my video on labelling. I think it was Labelling Monday. But just think back, what labels were you told, or what words do you remember? What do they ring in your head? Was it, don't you be talking about yourself or doing things for yourself? That's selfish. Thinking about yourself all the time, that's selfish. Well, of course, thinking about yourself all the time might be selfish, but you need to take care of yourself, and it's not selfish. So what can you do to take care of yourself? First of all, you need to plan. So the planning is, you need to start this journal and your diary. Plan what you're going to do. Don't wait for something to happen. Write down some of the things you want to do, some of the things that we're going to bring fun and joy to you. And hi, Barbara, great to see you this morning. So you need to write these things now. Now, I know that there are lots of things maybe on your bucket list now, and that's maybe going to cost, well, it will cost money if you want to travel, but it doesn't need to be that. Things that bring you joy can be small things, and you need to be writing these down and remind yourself to do them maybe often. So you also need to tell others that you're going to do this, because they need to know that you need time for yourself, and it's giving you time and space. And I think if you've, like me, over the years, I seem to, it's this kind of maybe superwoman or something. I think I can do everything. I can do everything for everybody else. And all it does is it just leaves you overwhelmed and exhausted. So you need to plan something for yourself, even if it's just a few minutes. Of course, plan what you're not going to do. Now that sounds a bit crazy, but actually planning what you're not going to do. What I mean by this is, you need time and space for yourself. So that means stop checking the emails. Stop looking at your phone constantly, looking for messages. And it's just for a short while I'm asking you to do this, just a couple of minutes or so. And, the news, of course, I've stopped listening to it. You can maybe catch up, but it's still terribly negative. It's constantly, they almost raise your hopes up with some positive news, and then you're brought down again with this negativity. And it just gets to you. So I say just stop listening and watching to the news and all these constant negative words. You just start to feel down. So you plan what you're going to do and plan what you're not going to do. And you need this for yourself, because you need this time and space. And of course, I've said it before, you've got to eat healthily. There's other things you need to do, but remember to give yourself a treat. So when you achieve something and you've done what you've planned you were going to do and you've actually achieved it, give yourself a wee treat. Sleep and rest. Now, we've talked about sleep before, I know, but even rest, sometimes taking a power nap. I'm quite good at that, but lots of people say, well, it tends to maybe end up not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes, but I'm out for an hour. During lockdown times, that's maybe okay, but of course, you can't take that type of nap, I suppose, or sleep if you're working in an office. But just now, if you feel you need, just sit back for a minute or two, and if you doze off, that's fine. You might want to set an alarm, I suppose, so that's just a short time and you're not out for 2 or 3 hours, which will, of course, disrupt your evening sleep, your night sleep. Spending time with others. I don't just mean on the phone, but or virtual, but when we're actually out of this time, we'll need to spend time with others. We're desperate to be meeting up with others. And of course, I think all of us will be wanting to dine out. I'm desperate. I've got myself ready for my birthday celebrations, but I can't be going anywhere. So it will be in or socially distancing within my kind of bubble, I suppose. But when the lockdown's over, I was saying to my old friend, I used to take her out every Sunday, and I was just saying, we'll definitely need to book, because everyone will be wanting to do this. So there'll be a big rush on that. So remember, as soon as lockdown's over, maybe book somewhere and make sure you're going to meet up actually with people. Exercise, of course, physical exercise is really important when you want to take care of yourself. Now, again, we're not talking about the long marathons or, constantly running for 10 miles or 5 miles, just a short walk. But and particularly in nature, it really lifts your spirits. It energizes you, and therefore it improves your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and therefore your overall well-being. But exercise in the mind, no surprise here from me. That's something I know I go on and on about, but it's so vital. The power of the mind is just extreme. You probably don't even realise how powerful. So you need to do your mind exercises regularly. And that's why I designed my ABC. easy to use, can be used anytime, anywhere, any place. Now, the C, the creative imagination, which is where we do our mindfulness meditation at the end, you can't obviously do that one. You can maybe visualise something when you're at the traffic lights, but I would really recommend you don't. When you're operating machinery or driving or doing something where you need to concentrate, that's not a time to do a meditation. So, but my A and B can be done then. Affirm. If you're stuck in a traffic jam and you're getting frustrated and angry, take 3 deep breaths and just affirm, I am patient. The traffic moves on and you'll move on. And I don't know about you, but sometimes people whiz by, they're pushing to get in front of you in the car, and you come to traffic lights and they're 1 car ahead of you. You know, just what's all that about? Really, there is no need for that. And of course, hugs. Keep giving yourself a hug. You might remember a video some time ago. I was talking about that, and you hug yourself and looked a wee bit creepy, but actually you can energise and bring warmth to yourself by doing this. But of course, when this is all over, the challenging times are over, well, we'll be desperate to give hugs. I mean, we'll be meeting up and you'll be wanting to hug your friends and your loved ones. I mean, I was known as the hugger for years, and I'm particularly fond of the impact that touch has. Touch is so important, and since, I suppose, over the years, touch is a difficult one, because I know certain people, if they touch you, it can feel a bit creepy. Others, it's fine. So, of course, touching in the workplace, you're not supposed to touch people, touch them on the shoulders or whatever. I know that can be difficult. But I remember that I was visiting a care home, an old lady I knew there, and there was another person in that care home who just constantly screamed. I mean, the poor soul was screaming. When I went in, she'd scream the whole time I was there. And on this occasion, I sat down next to my friend, and the lady that screamed was next to me. So I was kind of between them. And I just put my hand down on her hand, and the screaming stopped immediately. And a nurse came over, one of the carers came over. She said, "What did you do?" I said, "I just touched her hand." And that human to human contact, so important. I don't think anybody had done that. So, you know, hugging is important, but I suppose it's got to be at an appropriate time. So just be careful. I've got to watch people's boundaries as well. And we've talked about that, setting boundaries. But when this touch, it energizes you, it calms, it relaxes, and it energizes. And of course, I found that on that one occasion. I did it more, but that first occasion with that lady, it was really, it was outstanding. It kind of transformed the way I even thought about touch. So just think about that. It calms, it relaxes. I mean, you may have experienced that sometimes. I remember if your children are really going through that terrible 2s or the 3s, and they're screaming, and sometimes they just don't know why they're screaming and crying, and they don't know. And there'll be lots of views on what to do, but one of my children, I wouldn't say who, was a bit like that. And one day I thought, he doesn't know why. So I just lifted him and gave him a big, tight hug, and it stopped. It was like he was in a kind of safety net then. So it's interesting. I'm getting quite emotional there thinking about it. But somebody said that's ridiculous. They should get into trouble if they're screaming and angry. But it depends. As a mum, you tend to know maybe why they're screaming or getting angry, and they don't know the reason. And you might not know the reason, but just holding them tight, I think, gives them that kind of safety net and feeling of security. So the next thing is, and I hope you've all got one now, mine's kind of on the wall there, I can see it, so I'm not getting up to get it, but what is that? Your achievement board or your inspiration board. You might have two, one where you've achieved things and the other one something that inspires you, because when you feel down, if you look at that, wow, it just makes you feel better. And you can have positive, it doesn't need to be words, you can have positive pictures, read positive stories, and of course take a few moments. I've got on my board a big A, B and C. You can start children early with these, because they can cut out things or draw things, and it inspires them. And of course, journaling or using your diary. We've all been overwhelmed during the last months, and as I say, that's nearly a year now. So it's normal, of course, to feel, it's normal to feel overwhelmed. That's okay. We feel overwhelmed, we're stressed or upset. So you've got to give yourself permission to feel that way. We can't be upbeat and positive all the time. So don't worry about that. Allow yourself time to show what you're feeling. And that's where your journal or diary comes in. Write down your thoughts and your feelings, and what helps you then to move forward is, of course, do something creative. And that's why I hope that people do use it in this way, but it's why I designed the Changing Seasons of Life book with blank pages. I've given a heads up for some where there's a health wish list, affirmations, there's a gratitude list, and there's a well-being map. And it's just a page for your well-being map. You design your own. What route you want to do, what's actually you're going to focus on, and plan for a better, positive way ahead. And of course, I think I've had feedback from some people, because I was worried about the stories. My stories are based on my life, but they're so abstract. You have to kind of read between the lines. You have to try and identify maybe what they're about. And that's deliberate. It was intentional, because I wanted people to think, what's that about? What's she talking about? And maybe relate it to your own life, because they are so abstract. I mean, I'm laughing. One that I constantly think about is the one about, I think, the pig in the farm, and that was a real story about something that happened. So it's interesting. I hope that it grasps people's attention and gets your creative juices flowing. Now, another thing, we're so overwhelmed. We've been going through months and months of this challenging time, and what I'm going to say might come as a surprise to you, because I'm talking about, doing things new, etc. But you have to have we want to get back to some kind of normality. But in one way that's true, but you don't want to go back to kind of the old ways, I think we need a routine. But having the normal routine, I think, will need to change. We've been through challenging times, and through these times, the people who've coped best are the ones who have embraced the change. And when you embrace change, you see it in a more positive way. You're flexible, you're adaptable, and you've got the courage then to face the next of life's challenges. Because when these challenges are over, life is not just going to be normal. I mean, nothing is really normal. Life is ever changing. And because life is ever changing, the people who cope best are the ones who understand that life changes. We don't know what's round the corner. So I'll just say hello to Michelle there, and I gave you a wee wave. We don't know what's round the corner. So we need to be flexible, and that's being resilient. And when you're resilient, and along with courage, you then actually endure. That's my book I wrote on resilience and courage. You endure every day in a more positive, fulfilling way. And what more would you want? You don't want to be sitting there thinking, well, I want everything to go back to normal and back to what it was, because let the past go. You can change the way you view the past, but you can't change the past. Now, it's up to you. The choice is yours. I'm hoping I'm not looking too tired, but I did have a kind of quite long call with a good friend in Australia, and we were talking about change, and you're talking about relationships and things, and when you're in a difficult relationship, no matter whether that's mum, daughter, father, son, a partner, wife, if there's someone who's doing something that can annoy you, perhaps to the extent that I've talked about this before in another video, it's a kind of one-sided relationship. The unfortunate thing is you cannot change the other person. You can only change you. So you have to make the plans then on how you want your life to be. The better relationships are balanced. You don't want to go through life and in 20 years' time or 30 years' time go, what was that all about? You've felt the subtle things I think are not the ones where there's physical abuse. I think sadly the subtle abuse is the emotional abuse, the psychological and mental abuse. If you have experienced anything like that, you suffer more because in one sense, because people don't see it. You'll probably have the smile on your face, everything's fine. The outside think there's a fabulous relationship there. There's, I wish I was like them. There's no problems. Well, actually, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And of course, it's the emotional is the eating into your confidence. So they eat away at it and in subtle words until really you have no confidence. You feel unworthy, you're not valued, and every time you open the door or you're entering a room where this other person is, you're like walking on eggshells. Really, that is no way to live. But the choice is yours. You can change all you like, but if the other person doesn't change, you're kind of on a hiding to nothing, as they say. But it's up to you now about how you want to move forward. So to me, if you try and find your passion and purpose in life, and I think I did a podcast on this or maybe a live video too, you find magic in everything you do. So think of the things that bring you joy and fun, things that will motivate you, keep you inspired and motivated. And while you're doing this, if you use my ABC, and they are proven psychologically effective techniques for de-stressing, reducing anxiety and improving your well-being. And I'm not just saying that, but lots of the people that use them have emailed me to say that's what's got them through. So if my ABC, like a friend on the shoulder, can get you through, then it's all worthwhile. The affirmation, so today my affirmation would be, I focus on taking care of myself. And don't let this little negative voice in your head say, oh no, I was told that was selfish. Ditch that. You've got to just keep saying, I focus on taking care of myself, or I take care of myself. I am kind to myself. Anything like that. And it really boosts you. You can feel it just lifting you. And you don't need to say it out loud. It's great if you can, if you're alone. Go in front of a mirror, look at yourself and say, do you know what? I am kind to you. So I take care of you. I love you, so you're looking at yourself and just making yourself feel good. There's so many people around desperate to bring you down. I mean, it's sad. And during these times, we've gone from everybody being kind, we have to clap for the frontline workers, to the haters and the people ready to blame everyone else. It just doesn't get us anywhere. So I'd rather think, look at yourself and just say, I'm kind to myself. Because when you're kind to yourself, you've got more energy to be kind to others. The B, of course, the effective breathing. Oh, I'll just say hello to David there, right? The effective breathing, of course, remember from the diaphragm. Now, I actually saw an advert on TV. It was about nappies, actually. And it said that there's some nappies are better so that they don't leak during the night. And they actually showed a picture of a baby sleeping. And it showed the tummy going out when it breathed in, and when it breathed out, the tummy went down, and that's when apparently the nappy leaked. But I thought it was a good way of visualising or seeing what I mean by the breathing. It's as you breathe in, the tummy, the lower diaphragm going out, and then holding, and then relaxing, and when you breathe out, your tummy goes in. So it's kind of unusual way of looking at it. But animals do it, dogs, cats, have a look at them if you've got one. Now, for today's creative imagination, I thought I'd do something different. I'm not doing one of my Mind Bites mindfulness meditations. I thought we would do what I call my relaxation exercise. And so for today, I just want you to sit with your back straight, of course, that you feel confident. You don't want to be slumped in your chair, but comfortable. So it's this kind of a relaxed, straight back, but not slouched. So straight, perhaps against the back of the chair, feet on the ground, and then I call this my relaxation exercise. You can do it for as long as you like. You can actually do it for 10 minutes or more. I won't be doing it as long as that, but you get the gist of what I mean. And we're going to now just go into this. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I want you to hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then exhale slowly to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I want you to imagine that you're somewhere, I would say nature, just you've found a nice quiet place that's peaceful and quiet. And just imagine sitting there. You might lie down as well, just whatever is comfortable for you. Now I want you to focus. This is Focus Friday. So I want you to focus on each part of the body that I'm talking about. So I want you to take your mind to your toes. Now wiggle your toes. Count them perhaps. Just know that you're focusing on your toes. And then relax. Now I want you to move up to your ankles. Now move your feet up and down like your ankles are like hinges. You're focusing on your ankles. Now you might lift your ankle, maybe circle your ankle, the right foot, and then the left foot. And then just put them down again. Now moving up to the lower legs, maybe feel the muscles in your calf. Just focus on the calf muscle. Your right leg and then your left leg. Now put your hands on your knees. Perhaps feel the warmth of your hand, the energy going into your knees. Maybe circle your hands round your knees. Focus on your knees. Now move up to your upper legs, your thighs, and the same, feel the muscle in your thigh. Maybe tighten and relax the muscle. Feel your right one and then your left one. Now moving up to your tummy area, focus on that area. You could perhaps put your hands on that, giving it some warmth, and the warmth from your hands. Feel the warmth on your tummy. And then pull your tummy in and then relax. Pull your tummy in and then relax. Now moving up to your upper body, to your chest, put your hand just below your neck. Either hand, doesn't matter. Feel the warmth of your hand on your upper chest. And maybe This time you can pull your shoulders up. Feel that chest tightening and then relax. And again tightening and then relax. And then we move to our arms. First of all, our hands. Focus on your hands, the fingers, just like you did with your toes. Move your fingers. Then circle. Feel your wrists, you're circling, like your hands going round slowly. Your right hand and then your left hand. And then moving up the arms, think of the muscles in your lower arms. Tighten your fists and then relax. Tighten your fists and then relax. And with the upper arm, you might want to bend your elbows and just tighten as if you're feeling the muscles in the top of your arms. And then relax. And then feel the muscles in the top of your arms and then relax. Now we go to the shoulders. Now this time, pull your shoulders up towards your chin, hold, and then relax. Pull your shoulders up towards your chin, and then relax. Now you can do each shoulder independently. Maybe move your right shoulder forward and back, forward and back. And then the same with your left, forward and back. Pulling your shoulder up, forward and back. Now we come to the neck. I want you to stretch your chin back. Feel that neck stretching. And then your chin down. And then again, pushing your chin up and then relax. And then put your chin down so you're stretching the back of your neck. Feel that tight and then relax. And then again, chin down. Feel your neck stretching and then relax. Now I want you to do the same with your face. Feel the muscles in your face. You can use your hands if you want, but just pull your cheeks up. Maybe screw your face up and then relax. Screw your face up and then relax. Now screw your eyes tight and then relax. Screw your eyes tight and then relax. Now think of your mind. Just think of your mind. Now imagine that there's so many things you're going on in your mind. I want you to imagine them all leaving your mind. You're freeing your mind up. And you're going to do this by breathing in again. Remember, you're in nature. You're going to breathe in the pure air, the beauty of nature into your mind. So you breathe in now, hold, and then slowly exhale. Breathe in again. Feel that air fill your mind and body. Hold, and then exhale. Now you can open your eyes and then you can say, I am calm, I am relaxed, and I am energized. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a relaxation. You can do it. Sometimes they do it in yoga, but you can lie down and do it for even up to 10 minutes, taking each part of your body, just focusing on it. And we tend not to even think about the workings of our body and how wonderful it is. So think about that. And I hope you've enjoyed that. And of course, remember my 2 vital tips. What are they? Laugh It costs you nothing. And smile. It costs you nothing. So thank you for watching today. I hope you've got a fabulous day ahead of you. I know I have. As I say, I'm celebrating. So maybe I might even still be celebrating on Monday. I'll get a new outfit on for my birthday celebrations. It's Sunday, of course. So I'm looking forward to that. And so there'll be some. I've actually had a surprise already. I had a lovely bunch of flowers arrive from a friend, and I've had birthday cards, but I've not opened them yet. So I will open them on Sunday morning. So until Monday, and I think I'll still call that Celebration Monday, as I'll still be continuing the celebrations of my birthday. And thanks again, everyone, for watching and listening. It inspires, it inspires and motivates me to continue. Okay, thank you very much, and virtual hugs to everybody. Bye just now.